Blindsight!
Blindsight refers to the unconscious detection of features that are not consciously perceived because of damage to the visual cortex, according to the Encyclopedia of Perception written by Goldstein. In 1977, blindsight was first reported by Larry Weiskrantz. Let's just call him Dr. Larry. His evidence came from a man who underwent surgery to remove a tumor from his primary visual cortex, leaving the man blind in the contralateral visual field of the affected hemisphere. We know that the primary visual cortex is the entry point for the information received from the eye and is located in the back of the brain. The right side of the primary visual cortex receives information from the left visual field, and the left visual cortex receives information from the right visual field. The patient Dr. Larry was studying lost his right visual cortex abilities, rendering his left visual field blind. So, because he could move his eyes to adjust the bad visual field, the tests were done with a quick stimulus to the bad field. When presented with a light or different orientation of lines, the patient felt as though he was guessing at answers. Consciously, he saw nothing, but how is it that all his answers were right if he cannot see? Dr. Larry called this unique and strange condition blindsight. Many arguments rose up to fight against the phenomenon of blindsight, such as the light scattered to the good field of vision, but eventually all alternative views were ruled out. We owe much of our current understanding of blindsight to early experiments on monkeys. One monkey in particular, named Helen, was the original blindsight subject. Her primary visual cortex was completely removed. This procedure had the expected results that Helen became blind as indicated by the typical test results for blindness. However, under certain specific situations, Helen exhibited sighted behavior. Her pupils would dilate and she would blink at stimuli that threatened her eyes. Also, under certain experimental conditions, she could detect a variety of visual stimuli, such as the presence and location of objects, as well as shapes, patterns, orientation, motion, and color. In many cases, she was able to navigate her environment and interact with objects as if she was sighted. She could not consciously see, as seen before in Dr. Larry's patient, but she was perceiving her own environment.